Say good morning, buddy. No? Alright. Monday morning, August 31st. Hard to believe it's the last day of August. Jeez. September is just about here. I'm going to be jumping in that shortly. Going down and mowing that last guy's field there that used to be CRP. I did mow my stuff yesterday around here for the last time. What do you think, buddy? Moaning and groaning. It's hell to get old, ain't it? Yep. Did you hear him? He just said, yep. Got a couple new tarps. Got a new 12 by 16 heavy duty and a 16 by 20. That one will go over the hopper and auger underneath the front corn bin. The bigger one has to go over the back one because what? I'll give you a bone in a few minutes, okay? I'll give you a bone in a few minutes because that's the one where the corn and bean bin both feed out together to the same hopper. You know, the design that I've never been real impressed with. But so every generally 2 years I get out of tarps because our winters are usually pretty rough on a tarp. 3 at the most. So, and then I think I've got one laying around that's in decent enough shape to put over here to cover the hopper for the wet bin auger when we're harvesting. So, speaking of it being almost September 1st, well, tomorrow being September 1st, 2020. Yeah, I know. I'll give you a bone in a minute. 2020. Anybody else ready for that to be over? Because I am. Are you, buddy? Oh my God, between the weather, this whole corona bullshit, and I'll get in trouble for this probably, the whole BLM and Antifa riots, and just, it's crazy. 2020 can't end soon enough. So what's November 4th going to bring, the day after the election? Trump wins? I say yay, but are they going to start burning the country down? Because, you know, they're like little kids who don't get their own way. Little kids stomp their feet and cry. These people burn shit to the ground. What if Biden wins? Well, we're in trouble. Because we're all going to be wearing a mask for the rest of our lives, doing as government tells us to do. And one more thing about 2020 with this whole corona thing. The CDC put out a report the other day, and it was mainstream media pretty much didn't cover it. Look it up. CDC's latest report on 94% of COVID deaths were, I don't know how to put it or how to get you to look it up. Pretty basically what it amounts to is, you know, Google something. The article shows 94% of people that have died supposedly from COVID-19 had 2.6 other underlying conditions. Only 6% of people that have died actually died from COVID. So 2.6. Yeah. So I read the whole article, and they listed the top 10 underlying conditions that, you know, led to people dying from COVID. The number one underlying condition was influenza and pneumonia. Huh? Diabetes was up there. I can't rattle off all 10. Heart conditions and whatnot. And of course, the majority of the people that died were, you know, elderly. Especially here in New York, where Emperor Cuomo killed the majority of our people that died in the nursing homes by putting people that had COVID back in there. But the number one, influenza and pneumonia. So then how the hell do you know what exactly killed the person? Was it the flu? Was it pneumonia? Or was it COVID? But that just tells you only 6% of people that get this die from it unless they have you know, 2 or 3 other pretty bad underlying conditions. The flu kills, I think in 2019, the flu killed 79,000 people. So, I mean, ruin our economy, turn us into some, you know, socialist country because of this. It's nonsense. But anyways, so I'm gonna go mow that field for that guy here shortly, and we'll just see what else we put on there. Maybe I'll do the bean tour with it. I'm mowing this field for this guy. I gotta mow that stuff still. That's always fun because that's above your cab of your tractor. Oh my god, these fields are rough. Good thing I got a chiropractor's appointment tomorrow. That's my corn there, and stuff down here at the bottom of the hill doesn't look half bad. But then again, that's where probably most of the moisture was, at the bottom of the hill. Oh my god, these fields, these kind of, I don't know what you want to call them, fields that just don't get worked anymore, that you gotta mow. They don't get any smoother over the years, that's for sure. So we're getting this mowed down. Then I gotta go mow some down around his barn down there, down near where that headland is, where we had the tiling issue, which we're still going to fix, by the way. So, like I said, thank God I gotta go to the chiropractor tomorrow morning. I'll need it after this. So probably after this, I'll go check out some bean fields and let you see what those look like, or maybe I'll wait till tomorrow, Tuesday, because the rain will have been last Thursday, so I would have given it 5 days to see if they perked up. We'll see. Check it out, I got a hitchhiker, a praying mantis. Haven't seen one of them in a long time. Usually see lots of grasshoppers, but don't see a lot of them. Going for a ride there, buddy? Hang on, because it's a rough field. Looky there, Billy boy. Old upstate New York Bill. Did some more mowing with our brush hog with only 6 blades. Did a fine job too. I know it would do a finer job with 12 or 20 or 30, however many you had in the past, because you're a mower guru, but does the job for me. Gonna blow out the radiator and whatnot on the tractor, and the screen's fairly clean. Blow it off and put it away for now. Then I think I'm gonna go check some beans and show you guys. Alright, I am in a bean field that I have not checked before. This was planted June 5th. There's 35 acres in this field. Goes up over the hill to that hedgerow. And this was the last beans I planted. Well, okay, last day. I planted this in 25 acres down to 2 miles north of the farm. This is about a mile south of the farm. This is across the road from that 45 acres of corn. But anyways, here's a pod right towards the very top of this plant. Quite a few pods on the plant. Still actually surprising, it's making some pods. But here's one towards the top. 3 bean pod. Alright, bear with me. Kind of like doing the corn. I'm gonna try and open this pod up. That's what it looks like. Planted June 5th. So those beans are in pretty good shape. They'll make a good bean. So the rain that we got, this is Monday. So the rain that we got last Thursday, that inch of rain is definitely filling out the top third of the plant like I was worried about. I can feel most of them are filled decent. Here's one that's not. All right, bear with me again, because a bean pod is a bigger son of a gun to open up than what the corn ones are. A near a corn. Alright, see that? Those are way bigger than the ones that you saw. I don't remember what video it was, 4 or 5 videos ago, where I showed you some that were very minute, but it's funny that it's putting on. I mean, look at all these pods. There's a 1-beaner, but look at all these little pods that, since that rain, is trying to put on. Now, will they amount to anything? They might. They might be a 1-bean pod, but they sure as the hell ain't gonna, grow into a 2 or 3-bean pod. Quite a few 3-bean pods here, but I wanted to check this field before I go and check that 25 acres that I planted the same day, because that field had over a 1/2 inch of rain that these didn't, like 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, that's how our rain has been. 1 or 2 miles is all that matters. And these are, not quite waist high, but they are what they are. So I'm going to go now to that farm 2 miles north of the home farm that I bought and check those. Planted the same day, but I think they had like a 6/10 of an inch rain that these didn't. But you can see the beans, you can see the yellow. I mean, they're starting to turn. Tomorrow's September 1st. I don't know what happened here. It's almost like we had a nozzle plug, but you don't see it in the rest of the field. Anyways, we're gonna go check that other one. All right, this is the bean field up the road. This is that 45 acres through all this. There's a 7-acre field across the road. That was that one with them clay knobs that were looking ugly. As you can see, beans are turning. But are they turning, or are they getting sudden death syndrome? I don't know, because those are some awful crunchy leaves already. But anyways, these pods are definitely filled quite good, so bear with me again. This is a 3-bean pod that I'm ripping open. Now, these were planted the last week of May. I think it was around the 25th of May. So these are, come on, fumble fingers, these are even farther along than what those that we just left. Matter of fact, these have got that membrane on them that once they have that, they could withstand a frost. But a lot of yellow leaves. I mean, you get down to the bottom and they definitely are firing up from the bottom up. That inch of rain helped us without a doubt, but I don't know whether I'll get a hold of somebody to come look at these, and are we having some sudden death syndrome here, or is it just dry? I'm thinking it's just dry, but I have combined corn 1 year. Boy, that's dry. 1 year in September, but I have never combined beans in September. And I'm thinking this might be the year. So this isn't the field 2 miles north of the farm, the 25 acres there, that was planted the same day as the one we just left. But I was going by this one, so I wanted to stop and look at it. But yes, they are going to make it. They are going to make a bean on the top third of the plant, and they are starting to turn pretty hard already. August 31st. That's crazy. I mean, generally the second week, like around the 15th of September, we might see beans start turning. Crazy. All right, these beans, this is the others that were planted June 5th. This is where they got the extra rain. Look at the size of those beans.
a lot bigger than the other ones that we just looked at. So these are going to be really nice beans. And as you can tell, they're a lot greener down here too. These aren't starting to dry like the other ones are, because there was more moisture here. I think my cousin said they got a 7/10 of an inch rain down here that we didn't get. So, but these are gonna be damn good beans. Look, it's Barb and Chelsea in the pool. They don't even know I'm here. And also, this is behind our house, so that's that headland that, if you remember the video where I said I tried to kill the beans, where I hand sprayed all that to kill the velvet leaf. They've come back, they're not as yellow. Hey, you two are on film, you don't even know it. Hey! Never mind. They don't even hear me. So anyways, ouch. Just piece behind my house. Planted May 16th. I looked at the date. Pretty much up to my crotch in plain English. Filled out quite nicely. They are. So I'm gonna pull one here. Bear with me again as I rip this one open. I wish I had just saved that 3 bean pod from that field planted June 5th that had the extra 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of rain, because look at those. Those are probably the same size as that field planted June 5th, maybe a hair bigger, but I doubt it. But those have got that membrane too. So, and if you look out across here, you can start seeing some yellow tint. These aren't turning quite as bad as the ones up the road. I don't know why, being planted earlier, but so anyways, I think the moral of the story is we're gonna have a pretty good bean crop. Oh, snake just went in there, which we need, because you've seen what my corn looks like. So, oh, now Buddy's howling because he sees me over here. You're on camera. Chelsea was just waving. Oh, look at Buddy. Look at the killer dog. Look at him coming out howling at me. Buddy, it's me. You're old and blind. All right, we're gonna go check 2 more fields and then call it good. All right, these are some beans 3/4 of a mile away. I showed you these in a previous video. This, in my opinion, oh, I hate stepping on them. It's turned out to be a hell of a field of beans. I mean, these are at least waist high. They are still putting on some, they're trying to, since that rain. A few flowers on top and trying to repod, but I'm not going to break these open. But hey, there's a 4 bean pod. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can tell by looking at it, those beans are fairly plump in there. So it's amazing how fast, there's 3 really good beans, how fast they started plumping up and filling out. Pooey, with that inch of rain last week. But these were also planted before that one field that's starting to look really dry. I may have to look and see what variety that was and get a hold of somebody and see what they think, if that's sudden death syndrome or what, because that's weird. Now normally we like to try and do our beans before corn here, that way we're not flipping back and forth. But there's one of my neighbors' cornfields right across the road, and look how dry that's getting. Well, that's because it's only 1/2 a mile or so from the home farm. I'm 1 road over, so I don't know. And with the corn being like it is, I don't know if you dare let it sit for very long when it's ready, if we get some winds. But it is August 31st. Beans will start, when beans start turning, they turn, and they'll turn hard. So, all right, one more field. That one up back we're gonna go look at. Here's the 10-acre cornfield up the road from my house. You can see how dry and ugly that's getting. So I don't know what's gonna go first, corn or beans. It's like I said, if the corn gets too far along, I'm afraid of leaving it just because I want to get the beans done, because I'm afraid of getting some high winds and having it fall over. Normally I would take the gator up back, but I'm in my truck, so we're just gonna drive. I hope I still don't have it on Zoom, or else you're getting a close-up of my nose hairs or something. That's the bean field right behind my shop. The one I'm taking you to is the one I showed in that one video earlier on. That had the little tiny, not even BBs in it. I mean, it was horrible. Yeah. Speaking of horrible, there's some of the corn on the home farm. Honestly horrible. So apparently, and yes, I mowed some of this the other day. Just didn't film it, all the pathways and stuff here on the home farm. Yeah, mowed the pathways on the home farm, Bill. What do you think of that, huh? With my 6 blades, Bill. All right, check out this weedy mess. This little tiny 1/10 of an acre or something used to be where we piled manure in the summertime when we had the dairy cows. Yes, that was sprayed. Those beans are wicked tall. I'll get them harvested. It'll be ugly, but I'll get them harvested. But 30 plus years of manure there, very fertile ground. I said to hell with it. It was so dry this year. Let's work it. So I hit it with a disc. Okay, I can't get out of the damn truck. There. So I hit it with a disc and drilled it. Look at it. Ain't she beautiful over there with all them weeds? But anyways, this was the field, and this is probably roughly the spot that I walked in on that one video. There's a 4-bean pod. There's a 3-bean pod. I'll pull it. So bear with me again. Ripping a pod open. Now, if you remember back to that video, come on, they were BBs. I think that little bit of rain, that like 1/4 of an inch we got maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and then the inch we got last week, huge difference. So again, I think the moral of the story is beans will survive in dry weather better than corn will, apparently. Where we just were on the other road, there was a 10-acre field behind it that's gravel. I always joke and call it the Denison gravel bed. Those will probably suck. Last year when we were getting 5 to 7 inches of rain every month, because it just never stopped raining from October 2018 through, you know, this coming spring, this past spring, I mean. That was some of the best corn we ever had on that gravel ground. But the beans this year, yeah, they'll struggle. So, but I'm still gonna say 90% of our beans are gonna be good. 10%, like on that gravel and a few other fields that I know, are gonna struggle. But I'm very optimistic about our beans now, which is good, because we got some ugly corn, as you saw in the corn tour video. All right, so I'm gonna end it out here, and you know what to do. All the things at the end of the video, you got to do them for me. We need more thumbs up, so before you leave, hit the thumbs up. But follow me on Instagram. I post stuff there, Andy the Grumpy Farmer, and we will go from there. All right, I know I said I was done, but quick update. Back to the shop. I looked at my rain book just to let you know. 1.1 inches of rain the whole month of June. That sucked, especially as hot as it was. July was probably our savior for both corn and beans, even though corn kind of looked shitty. 3.2 in July, and I just added up August, considering today's the 31st and there's no rain in the forecast, and it's almost 4:45 at night. That inch of rain we got last Thursday put me at exactly 2 inches for the month of August. So if we hadn't got that rain last Thursday, we would have had 1 inch, or that's all we had until last Thursday. Today is Monday, the 31st. So you do the math. What's that? 3, 5, 6, a little over, about 6.25 roughly inches of rain for June, July, and August. Yeah, apparently beans like dry weather better than corn does. All right, now I'm leaving.